Formally elected by the African Union Commission as its chairperson in 2012, she was the first woman to lead the organization. She is now the minister in the Presidency for planning, monitoring, and evaluation. Here today, she talks about her role as a Pan-Africanist and her work for women's empowerment on the continent. Please welcome on stage Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma.
International Women's Day for me means mainly two things. One, it's a day of celebration, but it's also a day of reflection. It's a day of celebration because we celebrate our forebearers who made sure that each generation is bequeathed with a better world than the one they found. So we celebrate their courage, their commitment, their determination, and their passion to ensure that women are free, women are equal, women are emancipated, women are free from gender violence. We also celebrate all the women through the generations, including the present generation, who have fought against difficulties, against all odds, to succeed, to push the frontiers more and more, and to break the glass ceilings, whether it's in corporate, in sports, in arts, in academia, in the judiciary, in sciences, in everything. Entrepreneurs, innovators, and we want to celebrate them. And we want them to know that they are appreciated, but also that they are role models for all of us. Because as a woman, you have role models who are older than you, who are younger than you, and we want to say this day brings us together and we celebrate. But of course, it's also a day of reflection because there is a lot that still needs to be done. We are not there yet. But amongst the women we celebrate, I think we should celebrate all women, because every woman here in the world has brought up and nurtured all the great women we're talking about, but also all the great men. They wouldn't exist if women didn't ensure that they come to this earth, they look after them, they nurture them to the great men and women that they become. So I think every woman needs celebration. And we must reflect on how much more still needs to be done. How can we make sure that there's no woman who has the agony of hearing a child crying, a child that's hungry, and she has nothing to give her. Yeah. And to reflect on how we can ensure that there's no woman who lives in a shack and prays every day that when the rain comes, it doesn't sweep her away or it doesn't flood the shack. We have to reflect on how can we ensure that women are not sitting and thinking, am I going to be beaten up today or not? Am I going to survive till the next day? Mm-hmm. Will I be alive tomorrow? So we have to reflect on how women can be empowered to ensure that the land they have, or they are given land, to be in agriculture, to be in the value chains, to be big, and to be independent economically, sure, to have their dignity and their self-esteem. Women in the academia, how many of our institutions are led by women? How many young people can see women professors at their universities? How many people can have confidence in our judiciary because they can see that there are women there at the top of that pyramid? So I think That's why I say, for me, it's a day of celebration, but also a day of reflection.
With regard to gender parity, it's well documented that it will take decades on decades to actually reach sustainable levels of gender parity within corporate spaces across the globe. But where do you think we are lacking with regard to the elements you mentioned regarding building confidence within women, enhancing the academic qualifications, and of course uplifting them with skills? Where is it that we are lacking in bolstering this move to attain gender parity, especially on the African continent?
Well, I think, first of all, we have to ensure that the policies are there in place. We have to make sure that women themselves are organized, because the people who make decisions at the moment are not mainly women, they are men. But if women are organized, they can influence those decisions, whether they are organized in political parties, where they can then go to parliament, go to government, go to all the arms of state to make that influence come to bear. We can also influence the corporate world. I think one of the things that I feel we have not really used is the strength of our numbers, and the strength of our little, but collectively we are big in terms of being consumers.
Yes.
I hope a day will come when women will say, we're not going to buy that product unless you can tell us where women are in your company.
A collective effort?
But we can only do that if we are organized, we are united, and we know that this is a struggle. It's not going to come, nobody is going to hand over this to us.
Sure.
We have to fight for it.